team ban.
Hello guys and girls, and welcome to the MASCA CyberWars Dota 2 tournament. We've got the two top teams of the tournament, and one of the top teams, one of the classed top teams as top teams of Canberra. Here is BoysBoys with us, and a close, very close competitor is RAD, really angry Daniel, or RAD. Coming up against them tonight. I'm looking forward to this game. It's going to be a couple of good teams. We're probably going to see some really good strategies. We've already got some amazing picks that we'll go through in a moment. And by in a moment, I mean, how about right now? Either way, I'm your caster, Only Logic. I'll be solo casting this tonight. It is going to be a best of 3, and right after this game, we're going to get the lower bracket teams, a couple of lower bracket teams, playing as well. Okay, so let's get right into this. Let's take a quick look at the couple of bans that have come out first. On the side of BoysBoys, they've banned the Lycan, they've banned the Brewmaster. Two pretty strong right-click carries with a little bit of utility. And on the side of RAD, they've banned Doom and Skywrath Mage there, and they've just come out with the Pugner, all three of which are not really right-click heroes but have a lot of utility in teamfights. Doom can transition into a late-game hero, but ultimately isn't picked for that very reason. On RAD, let's take a look at these picks here. Tidehunter and Tinker have already come out as part of the picks here from RAD. Tidehunter mainly used for that Ravage. Now, people, you might ask, what is Ravage? Well, let me explain it to you. What it does is it does a lot of damage, but that's not the point. It is a massive area of effect stun. That radius is 1025 area of effect stun. That means that you can only barely blink out of the Ravage if you are at Tidehunter's position with a max range blink. And what it does is it just disrupts the enemy's team. On the side of Tinker, we've seen Tinker played a little bit before. We've got heat-seeking missiles, we've got lasers coming out. His point is to push the lane, to counter-push the lane, to make ganks a little bit easier, and to ultimately just be a difficult to deal with. On the side of BoysBoys, we've got Shadow Shaman being picked up as the first pick. First pick Shadow Shaman means that they're going to be pushing. It means that they mean business. And the second pick Nature's Prophet confirms that. BoysBoys are going for a heavy pushing lineup. They want to melt towers as quickly as they can, just like they did in the game yesterday. That Nature's Prophet, let's see what we've got here, mainly used for his treants and his pushing ability, but it does make ganks reasonably easy to happen, especially when they can be picked off with the amazing lockdown capability that Shadow Shaman has to offer on the board. On the side of RAD, a couple of bans coming out there, Pugner and Razor, Razor being the first strong right-clicker ban coming out from RAD. And BoysBoys deciding to ban out the Undying as well as the Ember Spirit. That's a fourth ban, Ember Spirit. I'll be perfectly honest. That's the latest I think I've ever seen an Ember Spirit ban. And the Undying makes sense, as all of these heroes don't have precise, but heroes that BoysBoys pick don't really have a huge range of mobility, which means that the Tombstone can really deal a lot of damage. What Undying can do is Undying can call a Tombstone, which raises zombies, which slows and damages. But it's mainly for the utility of the slow. Zeus is picked up by his BoysBoys. Now, this is a hero that we haven't seen in competitive for some time. He has recently come back into the scene thanks to the huge buff given to his Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt used to be a single target. But what it does now is it actually, and it can be cast on the ground. Yes, it does say that. It can now be cast on the ground, which means that it is no longer single target. You do not need to target anyone when casting Lightning Bolt, and it does actually provide true sight, which means that invis heroes are a little bit less safe with a Zeus on the enemy team. RAD are now eating into their reserve time just like BoysBoys. Looks like there's a lot of discussion going on about the drafting here and what they want to draft out. The great thing about Zeus is that he does synergize really well in terms of pushing with his Arc Lightning, and now with his Lightning Bolt dealing damage to creeps, thanks to that static field and an area of effect. Even though you could technically cast it before, but they pick out that Disruptor. That's the first hard support of RAD. Tidehunter can be picked as a support, but he's usually picked as a tanky offlane because he's got that Kraken Shell that is able to reduce the damage done to him in the same way that armor would, in the same way that a stout shield would, and also it removes negative buffs, which definitely helps. Luna. Luna is picked up by BoysBoys as their carry, almost certainly going to be a carry Luna. Luna, also very, very strong pusher. She's got the Glaives of Wisdom. No, not Glaives of Wisdom. Glaives of Wisdom is Silence's ability. Gosh, excuse me. She's got the Moon Glaive. And what it does is it bounces around to all of the creeps, and it can really melt waves really, really quickly in the late game. So BoysBoys are saying, we want to go for a heavy pushing strategy, but should we take it into the late game, we've got a Nature's Prophet, which can probably right-click effectively. We've got a Luna, which can definitely right-click effectively, as well as still maintaining that strong pushing power that BoysBoys has to offer. RAD really need to decide to go for stronger anti-push than Tinker, and I think that they should pick up, if Tinker is going to be their mid-hero, I think that they need to pick up a carry that's particularly good at counter-pushing. Something like Weaver, for example, is very good at stopping waves, because all of the swarm bugs stop the wave. The wave just stops in position and starts attacking the bugs, and that can actually be really useful, because if they're attacking the bugs, they're not attacking your tower, which means that you might be able to manage it a little bit better. Either way, they pick up a Morphling. Morphling not great in terms of counter pushing power. He's also a particularly strong late game hero with very little early game effectiveness. Don't get me wrong, he can definitely have early game presence, but he doesn't have a huge amount of early game effectiveness, which means that RAD are really pushing in for the late game, even though they've got a Tidehunter and Disruptor pick. So what is this? Semi-team fight, semi-late game with a Morphling to fit in? Either way, BoysBoys strategy has been made really, really obvious. Ban coming out from BoysBoys is that Earthshaker, which makes sense, as Earthshaker would combo really, really well with Disruptor and Tidehunter. And is that an Ancient Apparition mid? I would not be surprised to see an Ancient Apparition mid. To see a Nature's Prophet in the off lane, and a supporting Zeus with a Luna and the Shadow Shaman. I honestly wouldn't think that would be particularly far-fetched. Not to mention, the Ancient Apparition can just swap out for the Zeus in mid. Zeus can go mid. Zeus is a pretty strong mid hero. Ancient Apparition can go support with that Shadow Shaman, with that Luna. Run that effective tri-lane. Both Ancient Apparition and Shadow Shaman can do their very good bit of lockdown. Not to mention, there's a huge amount of synergy between Ancient Apparition and Shadow Shaman, and that's off the back of an Enigma ban from RAD. Not that I could ever see BoysBoys picking an Enigma in this lineup, to be perfectly honest. Either way, an Enigma would actually go reasonably well in RAD. Not greatly, but reasonably well in RAD. Either way, they're looking for their second support, I'm guessing. Unless they want to run Tidehunter as a support, in which case they're looking for an offlane. But if they do decide to put Tidehunter in the offlane, they're going to need a second support hero. They might even do an offensive tri-lane.
10 seconds.
They might even put Disruptor and Tidehunter as an offensive tri-lane, especially with an Abaddon. That's a strong support hero that can transition into the late game if things are going well for RAD. But ultimately, it's a really solid lineup by BoysBoys. We've seen them use this lineup to amazing effectiveness, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen in this game as well.
Pull roots and run.
So, as we can see,
For battle.
as we start the game, let's introduce the players. Here on the Radiant side, we've got Rylan on that Zeus, and it looks like he is going into the mid, so it is going to be a mid Zeus and a support Ancient Apparition. Elks is on the Ancient Apparition, the carry Iv 4-4, I'm not sure, Iv Luna. JJH is going to be the Shadow Shaman support, and holding off in the back is X4, microing his Treants, watching that rune spot. That's on the side of BoysBoys, and on the side of RAD, we have Orbiter sticking around here in the back lines as the Morphling. Bloodstruck is on the Disruptor, who's hanging around mid, probably going to go top in the tri-lane. It is going to be an off-lane Tidehunter being played by Virgil. Big Cow looks like he's taking the mid as the Tinker. Tinker versus Zeus is going to be an interesting matchup, one that I'm pretty sure is going to be in favor of Tinker. And up in the top lane, you've got Jax sitting by Orbiter as the second support for that Morphling. And the game is underway. So this is the first game tonight of two. This is the upper bracket game. So the winner here will move to the grand finals. And the loser will move into the lower bracket and play the winning team of whoever wins in the lower bracket. So good blocking here by the dire side. Let's take a quick look at mid. Looks like Big Cow has already started the harass on Rylan, and it is doing a good job. This is going to be very, very hard for Rylan, but he's doing a good job getting those last hits with the Arc Lightning. Now, why could I not click on him? Is there any good reason why I could not click on him? Oh, it looks like my game is bugged, and I can't actually click on heroes. Oh, it looks like I can't click on anything. It's not very good. I'm not sure why it's bugged, but it means that that's going to happen a lot. Oh well. Either way, we've got X4 here fighting against Virgil. That's definitely going to be in favour of X4 here. Not that Virgil will be able to get a kill on him, it's just that X4 will probably have the better chance of getting the last hits. Thanks to the damage, 53 damage, as opposed to the 56 from the Nature's Prophet there. Even though the Tidehunter will be able to use his Anchor Smash to get last hits, it means that he does have to get into melee range, which means that he is susceptible to harass from X4. And if we take a look at the last hits, that'll probably show, and we can see that X4 is higher, only just though, and Virgil has gotten a couple of denies on him there. The offensive tri-lane actually coming out from BoysBoys, surprisingly, as I thought it'd be much more... much more in favour of Radical with the Disruptor, but it looks like they're playing the defensive. And BoysBoys trying to put a lot of pressure on the towers and just playing it really, really slowly for the time being. Pushing the lane back, doing a very good job of controlling this lane. And you can see the Treants are doing a lot of harass here onto Virgil, who's trying to come forward, and X4 is just not letting him. Rylan's going to be the first to take the bottle. He's at level 3 as opposed to a level 4 Big Cow. Come on, Big Cow, as opposed to just a level 4 Big Cow. So the lane's actually going pretty well for both teams here. For both players, should I say. The last hitting, as we can see, is very, very close, even though Big Cow has gotten the most denies and as matching on last hits. And it's purely because that laser, it gives him a 100% miss rate for 3 seconds, meaning that when he wants to get that critical last hit, he's just going to have to use his Arc Lightning. He's gotten an early bottle, though, something that Big Cow... Oh, no, Big Cow does have now, but Big Cow does have a little bit of extra damage with that Mantle of Intelligence. Meaning that he's got a little bit extra right-click damage, he's able to cast spells a little bit more effectively, and he's able to use his bottle. He's going to be able to push the lane a bit now with this, get a couple of last hits, and as well as harass Rylan and try and get as many last hits as he can here. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Jax has tried to come forward to do some damage, but it has come reasonably close, and I can't click on the heroes, it's really annoying. Rylan revealing there his... illusion rune to take from his bottle, and Big Cow not able to do it. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Elks is not in a great position. He's just going to be harassed a little bit, and ultimately not much is going to come of that. And we can see in the bottom lane how X4 is just having a much easier time than Virgil because of his range, because of his high damage in the early game. He's picked up a Ring of Basilius, so that's going to be even easier for him now. He's not going to have to shift into the jungle at all. And in the mid, Zeus is going really, really low, almost taken down. Rylan almost taken down by Big Cow. Big Cow doing a lot of work with that laser, especially seeing as he is going the strong anti-push build. I was going to say strong pushing build, but then I realized that pushing is highly in favor of BoysBoys here. And Big Cow not deciding to go for the rune because it has been picked up by X4 in the bottom lane, knowing that the Tinker was probably going to get there first. Either way, he's walking back to base. No, he can't be. No, he's giving the Courier the bottle. The Courier, which can't be... Yes, he can be sped up, but is not being sped up for whatever reason. And he's doing that because he knows that Rylan just has to go back to base. So, ultimately a good game here. We're not going to see much, but let's take a quick look at the graphs. Awesome. in favour of BoysBoys, as we can see here. Gold graphs going in favour, XP going in favour of Radical, so it looks like BoysBoys are doing something right in terms of the gold, and I'm not really sure what it is. It's probably in terms of denying, and if we take a look at the denies, we can see that the majority of denies are in the red zone, which means that Radical is getting more experience, but BoysBoys look like BoysBoys is getting more gold overall. Meanwhile, Zeus has come reasonably far forward, and there's been a deny up in the top lane. Ancient Apparition's going to go down, and that's first blood. Orbiter moving in. Now they're going to move on to JJH, and JJH is not in a very good position. The ultimate coming out from Zeus is doing a lot of damage. X4 is going to TP in. He might even be able to get a couple of kills here. If has gone in, he's going to get the stun on Orbiter. Orbiter is 100% dead. X4 is not able to take out that Abaddon, but ultimately it's 2 for 2. If we take a look at who died, we can see that Abaddon...
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Zeus took out Disruptor. Abaddon took Ancient Apparition and took the first blood bonus gold. And then Zeus took out the Disruptor. And then Zeus got the kill for JJH. Very good. Morphling getting a kill on Shadow Shaman there. So ultimately that does look better for BoysBoys. But most importantly, BoysBoys are going to be able to push a tower now, which is a very, very, very big thing. Unfortunately, no last hits for the tower was taken there. But that's already a tower down, and you're going to see the gold graphs just shoot up in favour of BoysBoys, even though experience is still in favour of Radical. So ultimately a better team fight there for BoysBoys, but certainly only because of the pushing power that they were able to have there. That Ring of Basilius means that he just has to have that on for the mana regen to be reasonably-ish effective. Oh, and there's been an initiation onto Bloodstruck here, I should say, but the Glimpse will take Luna back, even with the Chilling Touch buff. That will not have effect in this engagement. Meanwhile, in the mid, there's no clear winner to the mid lane. Both of them playing very, very consistently, playing very, very well. Now Ryland is actually top on last hits, and he's still going to get that last hit, but there's been a ping out saying that we're going to need to try and get a gank on him. And Disruptor is not in a good position to really get a gank on this Ryland, but he is up on the high ground here, which means that if Disruptor did come around from here, he would be able to actually pick him off and deal some damage, but he doesn't even have a smoke on him, which is a little bit of a shame. A lot of harass, as you can see, coming in from Rylan, and now Disruptor's going to go in and he's going to try and deal damage. The question is, are they going to follow up on this? They could actually walk up to him, glimpse him. It'd probably be glimpsed back to here, but then could he turn around and bolt an ulti and get the kill on Big Cow? Well, it is absolutely unknown. One of the great things about having Zeus on the team is that ultimate. That ultimate is a global ultimate, which means that it does affect all of the enemy players on the map. Now, you might be saying, why is that a big thing? Well, it means that no player on Radical can ever be at below a certain threshold. Let's see here, the damage 225, so they basically can't be below 200 HP or they will die to that ultimate, which is a relatively low 90-second cooldown. Pretty good. Ryland's going to go in. He's going to use the Thunder God's Wrath, and that's how you see a Zeus get a solo kill in mid, and Zeus has just won that mid lane. Ryland just winning that mid lane, and Bloodstruck is going to have to pull these creeps away from the tower, get some experience and some gold for himself. In the top lane, we can see all of the heroes are already quite low because of that mid Zeus. Once he gets that level 2 Thunder God's Wrath, then it's definitely going to be an issue. But he hasn't really gone a pushing build. He hasn't maxed out Arc Lightning here, even though the damage scaling isn't particularly good. It's much better on that Lightning Bolt. It looks like he has gone the Lightning Bolt, which means that he will be wanting to use it. He's going to be moving around. He might even go a Bloodstone to just consistently bolt and Arc Lightning people, something that I haven't seen, which is a reasonably old play. Radical is just going to get completely pulverized as Ryland comes in and wrecks him, and the ultimate's used. Ryland's just out of position of that ultimate. Luna, however, does have the ultimate. She's going to cast the ultimate, and it's going to deal no damage. It's going to deal so much damage to the creeps. The creeps getting very, very low. Very unfortunate there. And that's how Radical bring a team fight back with Shadow Shaman and Ancient Apparition, which I can't click on, dying in the top lane. Excuse me, guys. I'm just going to see if I can sort this out. These settings here. Click, click, click. It's not able to let me click. No auto attack. I'm not sure what's going on here. Either way, fact that I can't click on heroes is actually really annoying. So the ultimate coming out for Orbiter for that Morphling. And he's not actually going to be able to get the kill. His mana is a little bit low, but now he's going to be able to, and he's going to try to. And Orbiter's just going to shift to strength, and Rylan is out. He's out of everything now. So now he should have moved next to the creeps, because the creeps would have started attacking Orbiter. Orbiter's going to go right up to him. He's not going to be able to get the waveform, so Zeus is just going to walk away from that. And while I'm talking about this engagement, we see that the Nature's Prophet died, and I can't see where he died because I can't click on these bloody heroes, and it's really pissing me off. Excuse my language, guys. Unfortunately, I can't leave this game and rejoin as a caster, as I am admin of this game. I've never experienced that bug before in my life, to be perfectly honest, so I'm terribly sorry about that, guys. Pinging coming out from top. X4 is not in a very good position. That Disruptor had to go back to base for whatever reason. The question is, does Zeus have his ultimate? Even if Zeus does have his ultimate, he is dead, and I can't click on... Can I click on Zeus here? It'd be nice if I... No! No, I cannot. So I am not sure what's going on and why I can't click on these heroes. Either way, Zeus is back up now, so RAD are going to have to watch out with their health and hopefully not get too low. Thank you very much to all of the viewers on Twitch that are joining me. I'm your caster only Logic today. If you're interested in more Dota 2 casts, I will be casting the Barracks LAN, which is probably going to end up being the biggest Canberra Dota 2 tournament, or the biggest Dota 2 tournament Canberra has seen. So hit that follow button on Twitch to get more Dota 2 casting action. But the game that I'm really into at the moment is Nosgoth. Like, seriously, that game is legit. I'm loving it, absolutely loving that game. A ping's coming out by X4, who must have chased somewhere. Either way, kills are going in favour of RAD. You'll see that kills are going in favour of RAD. Having said that, oh, huge ultimate coming out by Bloodstruck. No, not that big. It only picks out X4 there. Rylan trying to deal damage, but ultimately not getting that Disruptor, who was very close to death, and Rylan's having to play it very, very safe. The ultimate by X4 comes out, but also doesn't deal as much damage as it could. Good synergy coming out between both ultimates there, as well as the Ancient Apparition ultimate, which is a global as well. He, however, is going to need to get a few more points, a few more levels, sorry, before he's able to get that ulti. So Zeus going for the rune now, and immediately using the rune, as well as 1 point in his bottle. He's tried to go for Orbiter, but Orbiter knows from that ward that Zeus was coming for him, and he just backs up pretty much right back to base. He doesn't even want TPs coming in from Furion from that Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet, meanwhile, pushing top lane. He's going to come up close to Virgil, and then they're going to turn around. They're going to try and turn this around. Virgil's going to use his ult. He's going to go straight for X4. He's going to be able to get the kill. Zeus is probably going to get the kill on Virgil, though. Good TP in by Big Cow. He wants to come in. He's going to troll, blink out into the jungle. That results in a kill on the Zeus as well. Double kill, ultimately going in the way of RAD, not to a single player, but to the two players there. Very good reaction time by Virgil there. Basically means that they'll be able to push down this tower. They can put a lot of pressure on this tower after getting the 2 kills. 4 to 9. Are the graphs going to even up? Let's take a look at the XP graphs. XP graphs definitely in favour of Radical. Gold graphs are now coming back. It's now even. Even gold graphs from being 2,000 ahead. So you can see how good team fights can definitely change the tide of battle. But even though it says 4 to 9, even though Radical have double the kills of BoysBoys, ultimately it's not the kills that that can make a big difference in the team fight, and you can see Radical is going, Big Cow is going to try and put pressure onto these Serpent Wards and try and farm it up, and I just don't really agree with this, to be perfectly honest, because it does give a lot of gold to these heroes. So there we go. So the game a lot closer than it actually looks. It's actually 4-9 here in terms of kills. In the top lane, Disruptor goes down thanks to the ultimate. But it does look like they do want to keep pushing this tower. Rylan's going to try and go in. He's going to do a little bit of harass there, but he's going to have to watch out the march of the machines while the top lane pushes in against BoysBoys. Either way, they're starting to even it up. 5 to 9 now to BoysBoys, and we will see this reflected in the graphs. Yeah, it's starting to come back up in the experience. The gold graph is remaining very, very close to even, and as the game gets deeper in, the closer it stays to 0, the more interesting this game will get. Big Cow just trying to stop this massive push that's going on here, and you see he's bringing the treants back. And the reason for that is because they do actually drop an amount of gold, 23 I think it is, as they die, which means that they can't really make a big difference. Oh, Orbiter has come in. X4 has unfortunately trapped himself in. Orbiter being very, very smart with those agility and strength gains, using his morph to full effectiveness there. For those who don't know, Morphling has a nifty little ability, or couple of abilities, where he can shift strength to agility, and or shift agility to strength. X4 is going to be completely picked off, and that's going to be no change. But the ultimate's going to come in, and is it going to connect? It gets very close to connecting to Morphling, but doesn't quite make it. Could have been a big play, but wasn't. Rockets coming in, hitting Elks there. And more pushing is actually happening by RAD. So this is actually an interesting strategy, because RAD is actually doing reasonably well against what is unanimously called the favourites of Canberra, which is BoysBoys. We can't forget, however, that BoysBoys team fights is very strong. The team fight potential from BoysBoys is extremely strong. Rylan just getting out of the way. There's a blink in. Huge kill. Ancient Apparition has gone down. Zeus has gone down. And you can see that JJH there is going to have to be very, very careful on that Shadow Shaman. And this is almost certainly going to be a tower kill. Or a tower down for Radical.
Dire structures are fortified.
And they're just going to be able to push this tower now.
Middle tower is under attack.
Luna's going to come in. She's going to try and deal some damage, but ultimately it's not going to do much. The Ancient Apparition ult is going to come in. Now this is a huge ult. This is actually going to hit Jax. The problem is that it's actually going to tick away on his ultimate, which means that it's actually not going to kill him, where any other hero on that low health probably would have died. The ultimate from Zeus is going to come out, but once again, because of the aphotic shield, because of the ultimate coming out, no damage is going to be done here. A little bit of dewarding coming in from BoysBoys to close out the vision of the Dire. Okay, can't click on that either. Can't view vision for Dire. There is a way to do it. There is a shortcut, but I'm afraid I'm not entirely aware of it. Thank you again to all of the viewers that have come on Twitch. Always lovely having you guys. On this game here, let's see. The support is always wanted from you guys. I recently got 50 likes, on Twitch, which is a big thing for me. Okay, it's a really big thing for me. Facebook, not on Twitch, on Facebook. Facebook.com/onlylogicgaming. Is my Facebook. If you'd like to be the 51st like, feel free to get on there. I do post updates to my videos and to my Twitch when I'm streaming on there. Rylan ends up taking that illusion. I'm not sure what he's going to do with it, and the bottle being used to give Bloodstruck those wards so that he can just continuously keep warding against the D wards. In the bottom lane, there's a little bit of disruption here. Looks like they've gone for the Luna, and they've gotten a kill on the Luna. X4 has TP'd into the wrong position. Jax is just going to continue putting pressure, and he's going to be glimpsed right back in there, and that is not very good for BoysBoys. The ultimate's going to come out, but it's not going to connect to anyone. Very good movement here by Radical, getting a couple of very important kills on BoysBoys. Once again, this will be reflected. Let's take a look at the net worth. Yes, it's exactly what we see. However, X4 and Luna still doing a good job on the net worth there. Rylan doesn't have his ultimate. Will he be able to go in and get that Bloodstruck? He might be able to, but there's going to be blinks in. They've gone in. Verity has cast his ult. He's going to catch two with his ult. He's going to be able to go straight for Rylan and get a kill there. Elks is going to have to be very, very careful. His mana is out. There's going to be a TP in by Luna. She wants vengeance. She wants a revenge kill. JJH is there. He's able to get Jax. Oh, and the aphotic shield just saving him. But Elks is actually remains alive. What happened to that Tidehunter? I honestly don't know what happened to that Tidehunter. Where did that Tidehunter go? He must have TP'd back to base. He must have just bought a TP and gone back when he found out that he couldn't kill that Ancient Apparition. So ultimately, going slightly better that one-for-one trade in favour of BoysBoys. Radical 7,500 on the experience, but only 2,000 on the gold, or 3,000 2,500 about-ish on the gold, and we can see this reflected in the net worth. There's just very, very good farming here by Luna and by Nature's Prophet, but if we take a look at the stats for Luna, she is 1-2, as opposed to the stats for Morphling, if I could find the Morphling. Which there he is, top lane, okay, and if we take a look at the stats for Morphling, we'll see that he is 4-1, so it ultimately is just better farming by BoysBoys, and I've commented on this before. BoysBoys do a very good job of it. Ryland's been picked out in the mid, huge team fight, but this time the ultimate connects. It does connect on Bloodstruck, it's not going to do enough damage. X4 is out of position, JJH has gone down, but a kill comes down on, Luna taking out the Tinker. Where's Luna? She's right in the mid of the fight. She wants to go in. She's gotten 2 kills. Is she going to go for a third? She's not going to go for a third. X4 wants to get a couple more hits, but that's a really tanky Virgil. Virgil's going to walk up. He's going to be able to use his Anchor Smash and get a couple of kills. So we can see how Radical is just the stronger team, but BoysBoys, even with their stronger team fight, isn't able to make anything budge, and Obita is going to be pushing this top tower now that he's making the move in this lane. See, there are a couple of fans in the Twitch chat.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I feel like I should let the players know. I feel like I could like say something in the chat, be all like, hey, the 10 viewers on Twitch are like enjoying you guys. But that'd be against the admin privileges, I think. You know, if I'm admin, I can't just be all like, hey, you guys have fans. At least I don't think I can. I don't know. I really don't know. Either way, I don't want to test it. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, guys. If there are any issues on Twitch, if anybody's watching this on Twitch, or if there is any sort of muting on Twitch, all of my casts will be available on YouTube, youtube.com/goingonlylogical. I wish I had made it Only Logic Gaming now. Either way, they will be up on there. So yeah, feel free to sub on there if you'd like to. Ultimate coming out to try and pick up the Tinker, but it looks like the Tinker's gone back to base and he will be able to survive that. He's gotten a lot of gold. He's already got all of his core items. I think he's just going for a Dagon now by the looks of it. By the looks of the Null Talisman with the Staff of Wizardry. Bottom tower is going to go down. No defense coming out from BoysBoys. So ultimately very, very good pushing potential by BoysBoys. The question is, when are we going to be able to see the BoysBoys team fight in action? Luna's taken the top spot in farming again. Luna has not stopped her farming. So, very good rotation there by BoysBoys. Elks is not in a very good position. They're trying to find Elks. Elks is just hoping that he won't be found, but Virgil comes around, and that's it. All bets are off now. Virgil is going to be stunned, but that's not going to make much of a difference. And it looks like Nature's Prophet went down as well, so Radical will be able to push with this wave. Excuse me, guys, just drinking my orange juice here. This creep wave is going to make a huge difference. Obita picking out the Abaddon and probably just sending him back just so that there's somewhere he can replicate to. If things do get out of hand. But once again, no defenses coming up from BoysBoys again. And if we look at the towers, all of the tier 3 towers are down, but only one of the tier 2 towers are down, and that's in favor of the less likely team, which just so happens to be Radical. So good on Radical for getting those towers down. Really good job by them. Obita's going to try and come in, move in onto JJH. He's just going to use his ability and then back off. And Luna's going to come in from the backside, and then he's going to go for Obita. He's going to get a double kill here, but the ultimate has already been used, but there's no stun. Virgil will use his Ravage on getting that Luna. Probably, no, definitely worth it, but you can see that Luna's net worth is still the highest in the team. So Luna's farming is just completely impeccable. And a refresher coming out. Oh. Okay, so I could click on Virgil, but I couldn't click on anyone else. Is that because I already had him selected? Yes. What a shame. I thought things were working this time. So Luna, if we find out, no, Luna's already dead, but if we take a look at the items list here, we should be able to see how Luna is doing with her BKB. She's already got her Black King bar. It looks like she's working on a Manta, and she's already got a helm as well as the Ring of a Killer. So very, very good farming, amazing farming coming out here by the Luna. I'm going to watch a replay of this game because I can't play hard carries. So I'm going to see how that Luna did it and was able to maintain that such a strong set of farm the entire game. In the midfield, is that a smoke gank? That is a smoke gank. It looks like RAD want to go in for someone, and they have spotted the Luna, and this is not very good. Luna knows that something's up, and she pops her BKB, and she just wants to get out of there. Unfortunately, with that BKB, it means that they won't be able to make a huge effect. Luna's going to go in. She doesn't have her ultimate for 37 seconds, but she is able to take out the Disruptor. Unfortunately, not in a good position. Big Cow is able to blink in and able to get the kill there. So it's a trade. Luna for the Disruptor. Ultimately, not a very good trade. Obiter is trying to go for that X4. X4 is going to have to play safe. Is he going to orchid him? He is going to orchid him, which means that the silence might actually save him. It does actually save him. He's able to back off. And now Obiter is not in a good position, but he's not going to get stunned up either. Elks is now the one out of position. Ryland's going to come in. He's going to try and save him. Obiter very, very close. The stun coming in from the Centaur. It's going to make a huge difference. The wards are out. Has to be popped. And Big Cow comes in and ends up cleaning up. There's going to have to be a TP in. X4 is going to try and go for Virgil, but the blink out's going to come out. X4 is not in a good position. Obiter's going to come in and he's going to pick out the stuns. And that's another kill. Radical getting the best end of that team fight. With Nature's Prophet even buying back into that one. Sorry guys, I had a bit of a mental blank. Refresher Orb was used on the Tidehunter, which allowed him to cast his ult soon. And that was what turned the team fight around. BoysBoys tried to see an opportunity there, and there was just brilliant communication by RAD and very good quick thinking. Elks is not in a good position, and honestly, if we take a look at the graphs, they're going to say 15,000 experience, 10,000 in gold, and I'm almost certain this is GG to BoysBoys. However, it's not GG to BoysBoys. Why? Because Luna has very strong late game potential. Because Zeus has some late game potential, and because Nature's Prophet has actually quite good late game potential. Not to mention the pushing power that this team has means that they can, if they get a team wipe, they're going to be able to push a lot quicker than Radical can. You see, Radical were able to take the tier 2, but not the tier 3. This is not the case on the side of BoysBoys. If BoysBoys get a good team fight, they'll be able to push maybe even all the way back to base as the game gets later and later and later. RAD want to go into the Rosh Pit. They want to make Roshan happen. And you can see that Ancient Apparition is thinking, hey, something's going on here. Oh, Luna getting picked out. Luna getting picked out by Big Cow, doing a good job there of picking off the Luna. I'm sorry I missed that, guys. I was looking at the Rosh Pit. Either way, this is a completely uncontested Roshan. BoysBoys know that they can't do anything about it, and we can see now Obiter, Tidehunter, Big Cow taking the top spots. All three Radical boys taking the top spots in the net worth. The ultimate's going to come in, and Morphling's going to be able to pick up the Aegis of the Immortality there. And that's pretty much the securing of the win for Radical. But you can see that Rylan and X4 are still here. It looks like X4 is just a bait for the push. And there's been some pings that Bloodstruck is here on his own, and the wards have come out, but Big Cow is also here. He's going to be able to move into Big Cow, but X4 is going to be happy to be out of there. No, he's going to continue going for him. But what's that? That's working on an Ethereal Blade. Oh, but he does end up going down to Rylan using that Ghost Scepter, almost getting the kill, and Rylan has blocked him in here. Jax is going to come in to try and save him. But it's going to make no difference. That haste rune is going to be able to get him out of there completely unharmed. And Iviv is coming in with the ultimate. That is a huge ultimate. Blink in by Rylan. They really want to get this kill. The ultimate's going to come out. The Ravage. Tidehunter's still got his refresher, so he's able to use that Ravage as an escape. And that's where the teamfight's going to end. BoysBoys trying to get a few little pickoffs. A blink forward, no, a blink backwards by Rylan. While middle tower is being pushed by JJH. Obiter, however, is going to get a lot of farm, getting rid of these serpent wards. Serpent wards are going to be able to do a little bit of damage on him, and Rylan's going to move in, and he's going to try and get a kill, but JJH, without any mana, is not able to do anything about that. The question is he going to follow up onto Obiter? He might, but Rylan, I don't think Rylan wants to. It looks like they might just have to turn around and fight. This JJH does end up popping RAD Virgil as he's got his refresher. He's going to use his ultimate again, and they're going to go on X4. X4 dies. Oh, and Obiter does end up dying. Really? No, that doesn't make any sense. If knows, he just has to TP out of there. Meanwhile, Elks is probably just going to have to accept his loss, especially with a hit from Abaddon there, and his Curse of Avernus being used as a slow. It means that they simply are not able to move out of that one. So this game isn't quite over yet. We've seen that BoysBoys definitely have potential to make kills happen. And if we look at the XP graph, it has plateaued at 20,000. If we look at the gold graph, it's even coming back up after 14,000. So, yeah, who knows? BoysBoys might even be able to bring this back. What's happening in the mid lane here? Obiter putting some pressure here on the lane, but Rylan's able to counter push that sort of pressure really, really easily, as well as get a little bit of farm here. Some arrows are coming out. People are saying we need to push up the mid lane, and it looks like Iviv wants to get a kill onto Big Cow, onto the Tinker here. The question is he going to go for it? No, Big Cow is just going to TP somewhere else. And he's going to go straight in for Iviv, who's going to launch his BKB and once again just TP out of there, which is pretty much the best he can do. So you can see the dangers there of farming as a Luna. The problem with using that BKB is that the more you use it, the lower the duration becomes. And because the duration becomes so low, well, it definitely makes it tricky to have a big effect. Is that a... No, it's not a Scepter coming out. Either way, smoke up has happened here, and now they've spotted Rylan. Jax missing the first hit onto Rylan, and Rylan's just going to move into the jungle and hope for the best. Try and get some support of Iviv here. But top tower is going to be pushed by BoysBoys. BoysBoys getting a kill on Morphling. Who was it? Ancient Apparition probably getting the kill with his ultimate on a distance there. I will fix up this issue in 4 Game 2. Oh, X4, Bloodstruck on the high ground. He sees him. They're going to go straight for X4. X4 is going to try and move out of the zone, and he might even be saved. He might even be saved with that, but he's not because of the high ground.
You'll be looking up at the grass.
Virgil not in a great position though. He has been joined by the rest of his teammates as well. The Dark Troll coming in for Luna, but it looks like it is just to stack the Ancients. This is some amazing warding coming out here by Radical to get very good vision on the map. Unfortunately, no vision on this side of the map, but this side has been completely pushed in. And we can see that they're now going to use this vision. JJH is simply going to melt. And Rylan is going to try and get back as quickly as he possibly can, but he's going to be slowed. There's going to be blink-ins. Big Cow is going to come in. They're going to get the kill. That's 3 heroes down now, thanks to BoysBoys, all because they were out of position. Where's the big BoysBoys team fight? Where's the team fight from BoysBoys that we've grown to love? It's just not coming out. Luna still second highest on the net worth. A lot of good farming here. We can see she does have her Manta now. Will it make a difference? Probably not, because if we take a look at the hero levels, oh, Big Cow coming in, Manta being used there. If we take a look at the hero levels, actually it's not bad. It's not particularly bad. It's not great, but it's not bad either.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And we can see the heroes over 500.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Only the Luna there, doing the job of main farmer in terms of experience. So that's the first lane of barracks coming down. There's been a TP in by X for X to be able to get a kill. No! TP in by Verity. Verity's going to cast his refresher. He's going to go in. They're going to get 3. They're going to get 4 when they move into Elks. And Jax might die from that ultimate, but he probably won't. That's 5 on the team gone down, and Radical will be able to continue the push. What does that mean? That means GG for Radical, almost certainly. And this is the first time I'm going to see BoysBoys lose in a competitive match.
Is under attack.
BoysBoys still aren't out of it though. If we take a look at the XP and gold graphs, 25,000 though. Gold is over 20,000. I really can't see how BoysBoys are going to recover from this in any major scale or anytime soon. I'm going to call this game to RAD, especially with 2 lanes of barracks down. They haven't gone for the throne though. They haven't gone for these mid towers. So it means that BoysBoys might actually stand a chance, but they're going to have to play really, really smart. They're going to have to try and turtle. They're going to have to farm low creeps for as long as possible. You can see how that was 38, 39 gold there. We're going to see Oba to try and go in on Elks, but it's not going to make a difference. Now, when you see this creep die 22 gold, yes, that's right, Mega Creeps does give less gold, which means that the farming is going to be overall harder for BoysBoys. At this point, it's just going to be a downhill battle for Radical and an uphill comeback for BoysBoys. I'm not saying it's impossible, not in a fit, but it looks like they're going to try and go for the GG push here. Try and make something happen. And to be quite honest, I doubt that they're actually going to be able to make it happen. X4 either way is going to try and TP somewhere. I wasn't able to see. He's gone into the bottom lane and he's trying to push out this bottom lane. But even if Virgil comes in, you're going to see Virgil's going to come in unnoticed, and he's probably not going to be able to get the kill, but he might. Oh, there with Big Cow. That combo, that Ethereal Blade Dagon combo, basically means that he's going to get an easy kill on anyone who's pushing their lane solo. The question is, do they want to go for a GG push, or do they want to defend? Ultimates come out from Ancient Apparition, but you can see it's a very, very, very small ultimate there because of the distance that he was at. That radius does get larger the further the Ice Blast travels. So if you were to go from here and then hit across the lane, the radius would probably take up the entire screen. It would probably be about that sort of radius. That sort of radius there, but alas, when they're close, the radius isn't particularly big, and you can see Big Cow go in, and now they go in for Rylan, and these 2 heroes are out of position, and Big Cow is just able to melt them with the combo, with a very much pub combo here in Elks. Jax has tried to get in Elks here, but Elks is just going to deny that region, and he's just going to walk off into the lane. And who was that walked in? Tidehunter pawned Luna's head. Luna's been taken down now. So I don't even know who Big Cow went and Tinker went on there. He went on the Ancient Apparition. The hates. Oh my goodness, they want to try and go in, but they're going to team no Tinker. Tinker definitely being the highest on the game here. If we take a look at the net worth, yeah, 23,000 net worth. Tinker just farming absolutely team no stuns. Stuns only me. Yeah, okay, that's a mini stun. That's huge lockdown. But they're happy to recognize defeat. They're just playing the game out now, but this is ultimately GG to BoysBoys. I'm sure BoysBoys are going to go for that final big last push there. It's not going to make a difference. Big Cow's going in. He's going to have to use his rearm. He's not able to yet. X4 does actually get out alive, but yeah, it's not going to make a difference. Iviv's gone in. He's cast his ultimate. It's hit creeps. It's hitting so many creeps. Will he be able to get a kill? He's turned around. He's gone for the fight. He's been glimpsed back, but Iviv's going to go down. And GG is called here as Jax gets all of his HP back, trying to well dive here. Victory to the Dire. And game 1 goes to RAD. Really angry Daniel victory. RAD take the victory in that game. Congratulations to RAD there. Just doing a very, very good job of just keeping the pressure. We can see Ancient Apparition tried to go for as much tankiness as he could there, because that was really what he needed, and none of it was really saving him. Zeus not able to farm up much. If we take a look at Radical, we can see that Tinker's got his full combo there, and he used it to full effectiveness, as well as Morphling with that Eye of Skadi. Big items coming out on the side of Radical. Either way, that was game 1 of 3. Game 2 will be on very, very shortly. Stick around if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on Dota TV, just rejoin when we start up the next lobby.